Okay, we're here, we're at episode 8. Today is a big one for me. It is a big one because I'm going to talk about the government furlough scheme, what the impact is on my business and what the impact is for my employees and how we're managing some of the challenges that we are coming up against and other business will no doubt be feeling. Before I start, let me make very clear my ethos with employees. The way I look at this is employees are the most important piece of your business. They are the driving force, they are the people that work every single day to grow and to deliver your business. Whatever your business may be, they are the key piece and should be treated as such, the most important part. If you're the owner, the CEO, the MD, your job is to work for them. It's that simple. That's the way I look at this. And we will give as much as we possibly can, and we do, to our employees. Now, there's lots of different things you'll have seen on social media about companies mistreating employees and how bad they've been, and there are some horrendous examples out there. There is also the flip side of that coin where there's some really good examples. Now, Timpson's is a company that I follow quite closely, and it's something I aspire to be more like. They employ 5,500 people, they are all still on full pay, they have reward schemes, they have hardship schemes where they support people, their employees going through problems. They don't refer to them as employees or staff, they are the Timpson family. So they've got an amazing ethos in terms of how they treat their workers, and consequently they get a lot of payback for it. And that's, like I say, something that I aspire to be much more like. So the government furlough scheme, which basically is an 80% pay your staff, so the government will give me 80% back to furlough my staff through this time of hardship. What that means is I basically just sit them at home and they do nothing. They effectively sit on a shelf. Now, that's okay with my operational staff. So people that are front of house customer service, people that answer the phones, people that work in the restaurant, my tour guides, my activity team, people that deal day to day with customers on the front line, they can't do their jobs at home. So they're quite straightforward to furlough. They don't want to be furloughed, but they are quite straightforward to do. The problem I have is the management team or the management tier are people that can work from home. So they could be at home at the moment and they could be doing things like policies and procedures, updating health and safety policies. They could be doing financial planning for the next year or next 2 years. They would be coming up with new ideas for tours and activities and things. Normally these boards are filled with ideas. They could be working on social media, customer service, and basically making sure our business continues to tick. So when this finishes in 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it might be, our business is ready to hit the ground running. So we just kick off, we go again. The great thing about that is we are then primed to start bringing people through the door. We're primed to start generating income. We're primed to start making profit, and therefore we start paying more tax, which is good for everybody. It's also a benefit for our employees because we're making more money, therefore we can pay them more and reward them and bonus them and all those kind of great things that we do. But if I furlough these guys, which we are going to have to do, if I furlough these guys, then what that means is I say to them, sit at home, you cannot work, you cannot do the two things that furlough says you can't. You cannot generate money for the business and you cannot provide a service for the business. So sit at home and do not work. Now to my business, what that means is it will stop, it will stall. So it just sits still and we have a churn of money each month through paying rents and other bills we have to pay, but we don't have the salary costs because we get 80% back from the government. When we do restart in a few weeks' time, we are starting from standstill. So we've got to restart that engine, which means it's going to take us time to restart the engine. It's going to take us longer to get people through the door, longer to generate the income, longer to generate profit, and therefore longer to pay back tax. So that makes a huge difference to my business. It is a big impact. It's a difficult decision to make because I literally have to weigh up how much money we're going to have in the bank, how long that's going to last, our cash flow, and our reserves against standing still and restarting. To give you an analogy, we should be starting our Easter promotion on Saturday this week. That wasn't planned this week, that was planned 4 months ago. So we're always planning in advance. So a lot of companies are going to come out of this and they're going to be like startups over again. And that's quite difficult for a business and it's quite difficult for the employees. But the fundamental problem we're having is we employ a very certain type of person. And I have, as I said at the beginning, an ethos about the type of people that we employ because the type of family that we are, the type of employees that we bring together. And these aren't people that will sit at home and do nothing. None of my employees are. Some can't do their job, but all of them, none of them want to sit at home and do nothing. They don't want to sit on a shelf and get dusty. And I don't want that from them. So when I turned around to these guys and said yesterday, guys, we are going to have to furlough you because it is the only way that when we come back to operating, we're going to have the money to get moving again. That's how we do. Otherwise, you can get paid this, we keep you working, and when we get back, we don't have a business. So we've had to do that. They have turned around and said, I've said, you cannot do this or this. They've gone, basically, sod you, Joel. Here's 2 fingers, we're going to carry on working. Now, to me, I almost shed a tear because that's a really powerful message for my team to say that they want to keep going because they're so connected to the business. They love it so much. And it's really difficult for me, and this is where I'm putting myself on the line, because I can't stop them. I can do certain things to make their lives difficult. I can cut their emails, I can cut their access to the servers, I could probably turn off their computers remotely, but I can't stop them picking up a piece of paper and a pen and writing ideas. I can't stop them doing these things, and nor do I think I should. The reason I put myself on the line is because anybody watching this could report me to HMRC and the government. The government or HMRC might watch this. They probably won't, but they could. And therefore, we may end up having a discussion with the government about whether we are technically furloughing correctly. But how do you stop an employee that wants to continue working from home, from working? And should you? Let's say, for example, I do stop some of these guys. Now, some of these people still live at home. Some of these people have just bought their first houses. Some of these people have kids and wives and husbands and stuff and partners, and they live at home, some in big houses, some in small houses. But to a lot of them, this is a brand new environment, and actually work, even for 2 or 3 hours a day, is an escape. I take that escape away from them, that's going to start having an impact on their mental health. And when they do come back to work, they're no longer connected to my business. I have serious concerns about the guys that are on the front line. They're completely disconnected from our business. We speak to them, obviously, every other day. We send messages and we have good groups, but they are disconnected, and that's a real concern for me from a mental health perspective as well. So would I like to see a different scheme in place or an additional scheme? Absolutely. It'd be great to see maybe a scheme that says, hey, keep your employees working, and the government will do a 50% fund or a 40 or a 30% fund, and you pay the rest. I would opt for that. Do I blame the government? Absolutely not. They're up against it. They have pressure. They were never expecting to have to do this, and they've done the best job they possibly can in a very short time frame. So it is nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. I guess that's kind of it, really. I'm not going to talk too much more. I would love to hear what other companies are finding, what other employers are finding, because I know there's companies out there that will find the same thing as me. Good employers that are having to furlough staff because of financial restraints, but those staff are saying, we are going to continue to work, or they're going to continue to work behind the scenes. Who knows? We're also going to find other people that are saying, no, we're just furloughing and that's it. And other people that keep their staff running. Anyway, I've talked far too much. It's too long a video. Sorry. But do send me a message. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, whether you're an employee, an employer, it doesn't matter where you fit. And we'll see what comes of it. So that's it. We'll see you again for episode 9, probably tomorrow.